Another 15-minute video. Let's see who can last long enough to actually hear the message I'm going to say. So, no shade to anyone who chooses to not watch my videos. I just think it's not meant for everyone. It's only meant for who it's meant for. So we'll see. I'll just leave it at that. But anyways, today was a PR squat session. It was not my intention going in there. But what the funny thing that happened was that I was working out next to this guy I know from school and one of his friends, and they were going crazy on squat. And this dude that was his workout partner seemed more experienced than him, and he was just this is probably his first if not second time squatting. He said he had just barely gotten into it. His friend was helping him out, and so his friend was like an animal. He was going absolutely bonkers. He was putting up these huge numbers and squatting for reps, but he was going all out. And so just because of the energy that they brought to the gym, I was like, I guess I got to go for 315, because I knew in the back of my mind that 315 is a number I've been able to hit for a while. I just haven't brought myself to do it yet because I wanted to make sure I did it properly. But in my mind, that's what I was telling myself, and really I've just been holding myself back. Honestly though, it doesn't really matter. A PR is just a PR when you're in your beginning stages of lifting, because it will be broken no matter what. No matter what you do, as long as you're consistent, you will hit PRs. It's once you're in advanced lifting and you're already past a certain point that PRs become a really big deal, because it really requires everything as far as muscular exertion, as far as technique, as far as execution. Everything has to be in line in order for you to hit this PR. But for me right now, it's my form is dookie, it's dog water, and I'm still going to be hitting PRs. Here, I tried to do some rows, and I realized that the catches on the arms on the squat rack were too high, and so I had to stand up taller in order to get any kind of range of motion, so I had to go fix that. What happened this week, I guess, I came to this realization. It's been a long time coming, because and by the way, I always record these in bed laying down, because it's just it's a comfortable position, but then it does this weird thing to my nasal passage, and I feel like I'm congested and stuff, and I can barely talk. But anyways, so this week I've been thinking a lot about my Instagram, because at the beginning, so this is let's say it's the second semester I've been here at BYU in Provo, but I'm not in classes this semester. But anyways, last semester at the beginning, I had this prompting, because YouTube was my number one focus and my number one challenge. I felt like God told me that I needed to focus on my Instagram more, and so I went and got followers. I even hit 500 at a certain point. Then I started posting, my deeper thoughts and my concerns with LDS doctrine and church in general, and sharing my thoughts about God. And it seemed like no matter what I posted, I was losing followers. And it didn't even matter if it was a wholesome, uplifting message, or if it was something that was critical about the church. It didn't happen at first, because I feel like my thought is that because it was around the finals period, and everyone had uninstalled Instagram from their phone so they could focus. I feel like a lot of people weren't even seeing the stuff I was posting, and as soon as they got back on Instagram, I was losing followers. I think that's what happened. And so recently, because this is 2 days late, 2 days late, I posted my PR the other day on Instagram, and it got a handful of likes, and then I had 4 people unfollow me randomly. I was like, what the heck? It's you would think that would be as far as positivity goes, as far as things that people can support, you would think that would be the one thing that people would like and the people would comment on. But turned out that I still lost followers on that, and I wasn't upset, because I've had this ongoing discussion in my head for a long time. I understand that people, their interest is unique to them. I guess their taste is their own, but I feel like the way that most people consume content is in a short, with a short frame. What do they call that? I guess a short term. Oh, fetch! I'm an idiot. My brain is failing me right now. So basically, they can't watch content for anything longer than 15 seconds without losing interest. I think that's just how most people have come to be now. If you use your phone regularly, that's how your brain is becoming reprogrammed. The kind of people that can watch a 15-minute video and watch it the whole time and stay engaged are a special kind of person. I feel like I myself can't even stay engaged for that long, but I've tried, and in the past I've learned a lot just by watching other people's videos, how just the act of listening to someone speak and sharing their thoughts is enough to trigger your own thoughts and to give you something to think about. It brings out in you what you've suppressed, what you've forgotten about, and what has been lost to you. So in a way, I think I'm helping out people like in a therapeutic sense of like helping them uncover truths about themselves, things that they need to be working on, things they can be doing, revealing things that they should have already known about. It's because of this hyper processed reality, I guess, this way that we're consuming information and seeing things in real time, but everything is altered, everything is edited, everything is reduced to an unrealistic perspective. So yeah, I don't know, it's super weird. But my point in all of this is to say that it shouldn't matter how many followers you have, or no, how many followers you lose. It matters how many people are still there, and not just how many. All that matters is that people are still there and people are still listening. Because, as far as estimation goes, I feel like, just based on my intuition, like, just my estimation, I think I could have like over 700 followers on Instagram right now had no one unfollowed me, but right now, I'm sitting at like 455, 458, or something like that. And the reason why it doesn't matter that I lost so many followers is because I still have 458 people who have not yet left. And so I still have something to work for. I still have people to speak to. And honestly, it's a blessing that I have anyone at all to talk to or to speak at, because I'm not really conversating with them. I'm just saying things, they're listening. So it's really common that I'll run into someone and that they say, "Oh, hey, I've been watching your videos," and like they don't like it, they don't like the video, they don't comment, they don't interact, but at least I know they're watching, and that's something that's super important because I learned this actually at the beginning of my process of posting Instagram content. Is that my very first video, my very first post got like 50 likes, and then after that like 38, then like kept going down 30 and whatever. It's like the people that get the most likes on Instagram are on social media in general. There's two reasons why someone might get a like. One, I guess there's multiple, but anyways, one is for emotional support and validation. Like their friends see the need for them to, like, they don't want to leave them hanging. They understand that their friend is posting something and putting themselves out there, so they're willing to support them, and they give them a like to show them that someone is there, as a form of emotional support. The second reason is because the content is actually valuable and it actually meant something to the person who consumed it. The other reason, I guess, would be for clout, because like you know how Instagram shows you when other friends of yours have liked a post, they show that post to you to see if you would also like it. If you see who has liked the post, you feel more inclined to add your like to it, and the chances that someone might see you liked it. And so uh, that to me is the least sincere, the least authentic way of consuming content. I like to think that people are watching my content and they're appreciating it, but they don't feel like they need to validate me emotionally. So that way, that's the reason why they're withholding their likes. And so it doesn't bother me that no one likes my posts. It would bother me if everyone was liking my posts and no one actually appreciated my content. So I found this happy medium, this middle ground where I can be content with the amount of interaction engagement I have. So here we go, PR attempt. This is a good one for me because my whole thing for a while, because I could have already done this, is that I wanted to do it with proper form. And while it wasn't perfect, I executed pretty well. The only thing is that you can see I dip into my left hip a little bit on the way down. And on the way up, like I've known for a while, my lower back strength could be way better. Well, I guess my whole back strength could be better. And that's why I've been doing more deadlifts and stuff recently. But overall, great lift compared to like, I guess where I came from, my progress up until this point. After that, I worked my way down a little bit. I did 295 because I wanted to ensure I did volume, because I didn't want to like push too hard at 315 since it's the first time I ever did it. And so I went back down to 295, which is a weight I've done before. I made sure I did like two more sets just to maintain the proper volume, because if you're doing a weight that's easy to manage, I guess you're not easy, but like manageable, it's important that you do multiple reps, multiple sets, because that'll just it'll it equals more strength gains. And so then I did some isometric holds, working on my upper back and rear shoulder strength. And I did this with I think I went up to 145 pounds maybe. And really good exercise I've been doing the last several sessions. It's really helped me out a lot. Um, okay, now last thought. I am actually gonna sit up in bed for this because I feel like my nose is getting extremely stuffy. It's kind of weird how that happens. Anyways, I just had the random thought to start talking about girls. So, uh, what I've learned, and this has been an 18-month, I think, long process of, interacting with girls, trying to get some traction, trying to get something going. Uh, there's different stages of evolution where first you have to realize that you like whoever you are watching this video right now, if you're a young single adult or just single in general, you have to realize the reason why you're single, most likely, if there is like a most probable cause, it's because you're a loser. It's honestly because as a biological specimen, there's nothing attractive about you enough to the point where someone would want to take a chance and put themselves out there for you. You have to think and take that as just like a fact of the matter, a fact of reality. It's not something that's out of your control, but it is something you need to work on controlling. The first thing you need to do is to improve your physical fitness. You need to get into a physical shape that's more attractive. Health is a huge factor in attraction because uh, you can still, like, let's say someone who, I don't know, this is the way I think of it as far as evolutionary biology. Like, you got someone who's like a cross country runner, they run marathons or whatever. If it's a woman, typically that you'll find them attractive. If it's a man, typically I feel like they look less attractive to women. The reason why is because as a man biologically, your function is strength, and your function is provision and protection and fighting. And so as a man, when you lose that much muscle mass and you lose that much mass in general, and you have uh your skeletal structure showing through your skin, is like you just seem less capable of providing that biological function. That means that you're less attractive naturally to women. Anyways, so that's just food for thought about biological, like the biological aspect of attraction. I wanted to now go into like dating and stuff. Recently, I've had the experience of, like, I went on a few dates with this girl who was like probably if I could rank, I would say she's probably the most beautiful girl I've ever been with, like as far as going on a date with. Went on 2 dates with her, and she was happy, like, to go on a date and stuff, and we had a good time the first time. The second time was good too. The thing I just made sure I asked her was like, hey, do you see yourself like being in a relationship at any point, like not just with me but in general? And she said no. She basically said, like, I'm just gonna like take my time, and when I'm ready for it, I'm ready for it. And I'm not in her head, I don't understand her thoughts, but she said that, so I took that to mean like, well, we're not gonna date, at least right now. So I told her, like, okay, well, I guess this is gonna be it then. Like, it was good talking to you. I wish you luck, and bye. And it was interesting because, like, I didn't feel like it was a huge loss for me. If anything, I gained experience. But it's important that you realize that, as far as spending time and effort and energy and whatever, you have to ensure it's gonna have some kind of outcome, some kind of result. And the result being is that I learned, I guess, that communication works because in another life, when I was like a loser, let's say I did ever have a chance to go out with this girl in the first place, had I been on a date with her, and then like had I been my prior self who was like insecure, who was nervous and whatever, I never would have asked that question. I would have just let it go on, like let a good thing continue, right? Like not ending it too quickly. But then I would have gotten anywhere, and at the end of the line, I would have realized, like, I guess it would have happened where she would have stopped talking to me and stopped seeing me, because I would naturally want a relationship, and then I'd be hinting and moving towards that, and she would pick up on that signal. And so I was able to get out ahead of it, and just by asking that question up front, I was able to determine where the path was leading. So it was super interesting to me to see how I was able to do that, because prior experiences have taught me that I was not capable of communication in the past. And so anyway, it's just a progress report, and I want to encourage anyone out there to really think hard about this. Is like, what is the value of someone who is attractive, who is beautiful, but that also doesn't value you as being anything more than just like an opportunity to go out, an opportunity to just talk to someone? Like, those are good things, but it's like, ultimately, what do you really want? And if you want a relationship, there's way more that goes into it than just being with someone who's beautiful, who's attractive. I also I've had this realization going on dates with different girls. There was this one time where I went out with this girl to breakfast at the school dining hall. I asked her, like, hey, you want to meet up for breakfast? She said yeah. She showed up and she had no makeup on. It was like really crazy to me because when I met her, I saw her and she was like really cute and everything. I talked to her, got along pretty well, and we agreed to go out sometime. Then the second time was this breakfast, and she just looked different. She didn't look like bad at all, but she just looked so different. It was shocking to me because if you think about it, like a girl without makeup is like she's like not that different. This is weird to say, but she's not that different from a man as far as like facial features. The differentiation, I guess, is in behavior, is in personality, and so that's what's interesting to me is how we've all been duped. We've all been like misled into thinking that women are so much more attractive than they really are as far as physical looks. And it's because of makeup. It's because of this billion or $1 trillion industry where they're trying to market off of women's insecurities. It's important that you can see through it. So if you see a girl that looks just like a 10 out of 10, you got to understand that she's not exactly what she looks like. If she took off that makeup, you got to think, what would she look like under there? And then you realize that physical attraction is more about her body's health than it is her physical appearance, like as far as facial features. And so, let's say you do find a girl that has those physical features, those facial features, and is attractive without makeup. That's like a one in a million kind of person right there. That looks like she has makeup but doesn't actually. Like, I don't know if that actually exists. Anyways, I think I've gone on too long. This is probably like the longest video recorded in a long time. And just wanted to throw in some extra thoughts because I feel like whoever got to the end of this video and was watching this is the kind of person that that has an unfiltered ability to process thoughts and feelings and whatever without any preconceived, like, let's say, like programming, right? Like people that are programmed in their thoughts can only listen to something for so long before they recognize, like, oh, this isn't the programming I'm used to, right? Like these are thoughts that I'm not ready for, I'm not prepared for. So anyways, if you made it this far, thank you, and I'm gonna log off now and hopefully make another video soon. But yeah, thanks.